when it comes to sketching, especially with colored pencils, the more you add, the better. Hello, this is now episode 2 of finishing the study sketchbook. Uh-oh, who's complaining at the door? Hello. For this episode of this sketchbook, I'm going to be using another set of colored pencils. A couple of months ago, Arrtx sent me one of their sets of alcohol markers to try out. You can check out the video that I made creating illustrations for my comic with them. And now recently they sent me their 126 colored pencil set to also try out and see what I think about them. Let's take a look at what this box contains. Arrtx never disappoints with their packaging. Not only are their designs really cute, but very creative. Look at this. So they're held on by a foam. They're still jiggly, but they're in place. It's actually 2 boxes. I'm gonna assume it's gonna be nice working on a desk. This way, they don't take up as much real estate on a desk. This is the information on the back of the box. Like I said, 126 colored pencils, 3.8 in thickness. Like I've mentioned before, 3.8 is pretty standard for artsy colored pencils. They do say it's saturated, so I am hoping that they will be vibrant and I won't have to use too much pressure to get the color out. I did rearrange the colors one time while watching a few videos. I like to arrange colors by grouping, not necessarily by whether they're warm or cool. I want to know that if I want a blue color, I've got all the blues together. It's important to note that this is not how the colored pencils came. I arranged them like that. Today is Friday. We're actually going to be spending the weekend with my in-laws. So I have my weekender bag ready. I'll be taking these colored pencils to do sketching this weekend. Wow, how did I manage to fit everything into this bag? You're gonna go in a different carrier. It's her first time at the in-laws. Yeah. We're basically watching every nook and cranny that she can't get. I love this part. We're back on the Sketch Daily website. This was like the 3rd image that came up. I kind of like it, especially given that I would like to fill in this corner. I feel like if I kept it like that, like I want to do the tutu for sure. So I think they would go like there. I think that'll work. I don't have a lot of room to work on the bar. I mean, I could work at the table, but I like the bar. Luckily, the way they have these colored pencils packaged, come on, this 2-box thing, it's neat. You gotta admit, that's pretty neat. All right, I think we're good to go. I'm going to sketch it in like a reddish color. So we'll first draw it like that. I don't have to put a lot of pressure to get color out, so I'm very lightly drawing this. They're not very erasable. I'm noticing that. Yeah, definitely gotta make sure that whatever you draw, it's gonna be that. I'm only erasing because I drew their facial features too large, and I'm just realizing that, so hopefully I can fix that. just hanging out, huh?
Literally hanging. She's got the best view. She's like, what's going on down there, ladies? Oh, yeah.
I love the bling on those.
I know. Those are expensive jeans.
Oh, here, you gotta at least straighten yourself up. You're gonna be a wreck.
No.
You
Isn't it cool?
look like you should be.
Is it?
And I was out there dancing with this
With
on.
this thing?
Yeah, and I was going
Oh
like
my
this
God.
to everybody.
No,
and
ew.
bopping up. Come on.
No,
come on.
stop. Get away from me. It's this.
Come on.
Good morning. Little one will not stop being feisty. It is Sunday morning. I'm continuing the study of the winter forest. Julia. Wow, on the camera it looks a lot more pink than in reality. So I don't know if you can tell the actual illustration how it's coming along. It's not as pink. So I've set down the trees and the sky. I'm now working on adding the details of all of the branches. I know you don't need to draw every strand of branches. You want to get the essence. Part of this exercise is also simplifying effectively. But I've laid down the first layer of color. Now I'm adding the second layer of details. These are the colors I'm using for these branches. So that's what I am working on right now. Sometimes you can't see the color very much, but I know that little by little, as you're putting down the color, it will show up. It's just a matter of being patient and layering color after color. Also, for this exercise, I am using all of the colored pencils available. I really want to see if 129 colored pencils is enough. No. Oh my God, it's busy.
Take what you want from
I'm a busy lady.
Hello, I'm back. That was very good breakfast. I have a few hours free. I just finished that little landscape study and now I'm going to do a much bigger study. And I think that'll be it for the weekend. I thought this was kind of fun looking, so I'm gonna try to recreate that and maybe change up the outfit. I have this whole page open, so I'm gonna be a big girl and use up the space. Hello, I'm back at the house. Let's continue our studies. I didn't finish that last illustration. I feel like I'm adding more and more color, but Really the issue here is that there are no lines defining all the different shapes and the details. I think in this case, I do need to add a line art. I have some inks that I've been wanting to try out. I just haven't had time. So I figured, ooh, this might be the time to try them. Why don't I try one of those inks? For this sketch, I'd like to try this new calligraphy ink from Ferris Wheel Press. The color is called Port Purette. It's a brownish ink with some glitter in it. I don't really need to be here. I can be in the living room and spend time with my husband, so I'm gonna move all this stuff over there. Good morning. This vlog is turning out to be so chaotic because I'm not turning the camera on very consistently, so who knows how this is gonna end up once I edit it. It also doesn't help that I haven't felt like filming too much, but we're gonna roll with this. This is where I'm at with this study, and to remind you, it's this movie screenshot. I don't know what movie it's from, but it's very pretty. Where I'm at with this study, I'm not sure where I'm going with it. I know I need to go darker, as always. I'm too shy about going too dark, so I'm trying to push myself to not be afraid of getting those darks down. I had drawn it down to this page, but I don't know if I really will have time to do the whole body. So I'm focusing right now on her face and chest. I don't know, you guys, this is the most I can do. My attention span has stopped working. But I still have all this open space, so I think I'm just gonna do normal anatomy studies here. Okay, so this is gonna be my last sketch. I pulled this from Pinterest, and I'm gonna try something slightly different this time. I'm gonna use my Arrtx alcohol markers in conjunction with the colored pencils, so we'll see. That's why I devoted this page for it, because I know it's gonna bleed. So we'll see how that goes. Don't do that. Okay, so the markers and the colored pencils have been added. I wanted to give this ink a try. So this is the same type of ink as the other illustration, but this one, the color is Copper Carnival. It has a little bit of glitter. Let's try that and outline this. Oh no, look at that. What a mess. Kind of wet. That walk featured a lot of rain. I think this is where I'm going to call it for the vlog. Let's go through the sketchbook and see what I made. Okay, so here is where we left off from the last sketch vlog. This was the first illustration that I worked on with these Arrtx colored pencils. It was a lot of fun to try to match the photograph with just 6 colors. Halfway through coloring this, I really wasn't sure how this was going to end up, but this might be one of my favorite sketches ever. It came out really cool, especially the fairy wings. Really tell that they are made from that transparent or sheer like pantyhose. I don't really know the name of it, but I'm really happy with this one. That is a very rare thing you'll hear from me. On the same page too, I doodled some studies with ink, trying to figure out how to shade better with lines. There was this glass bottle that I thought would be interesting to try to copy. That pink color is a little too light, but whatever. I really suck at ink drawing, so you can tell just super amateur shapes here. For this ballerina, I used a Pentel ink brush that I won at Lightbox Expo, so I had already drawn it, but with the colored pencils, I decided to color over it, and it was fun. I especially like the dreamy background colors, making it look like light rays. And then we have this winter scene, copied straight from this photo. I don't think I did a good job. I think there's a lot of elements here that might be above my skill level. And I did notice that some of these colored pencils, depending on the color, they don't get on the page very well. Like they're kind of waxy. They're not as saturated as other colors. So I started noticing that, especially in these branches, they're not coming out of the page very well on top of the pink sky. It was a good exercise to try to match the photo with all of these different colors and elements. Am I crazy about it? No, but it's good practice. Then we have this. I outlined it first with this bright neon pink color, and then from then on I tried to figure out how the hell can I make it look good. I don't really like it. Even the pose that I chose for some reason is weird. What I do really like is this shadow, how it ended up being kind of reddish with a blue border. I don't know, that looks nice. On the next page, I drew this pirate girl from this reference photo. I changed up the outfit because I was getting tired of the black and red since I had just done that with the ballerina here. And this was all just playing around with the colored pencils and ink. For it being a sketch, I think it came out pretty well. I especially like some of the shading and mixing reds. Even the boots. I really thought the boots would come out terrible, but I think at this point, when it comes to sketching, especially with colored pencils, the more you add, the better. Because you're really breaking the color monotony by adding as many different colors, many different textures. When you break that, it looks nice, even if you look more closely, things are not super clean and even. This one, I didn't finish it. Again, with that attention span, the face was fun. I don't think I got the values right. I definitely noticed that I don't go as dark as I should. That is a sign of still an amateur level as a colorist. I know I need to work on focusing on going darker. To fill out this empty space, I did more anatomy studies. I really like how this muscular woman came out. This was one of those colored pencils that I mentioned earlier that the color doesn't come out of it very smoothly. Like it's kind of chalky. This olive green is definitely one of those trouble colors. And lastly, I finished this random sketch. I threw on the same sort of technique of trying out a bunch of colors and then the ink on top, which I'm so messy with ink that there's parts of it that are smeared. I even have a drop here that came out of the pen nib too much. Yeah, I think I'm just too messy for ink, but I will keep trying because it is fun. And I have a bunch of beautiful Ferris wheel press inks that I want to keep using. So I will keep experimenting. Okay, so with that flip through done, what do I think of this set of 126 colored pencils by Arrtx? You can't beat the price for that many colored pencils, and for the most part, they color really well, super saturated, except for a few in the set. It seems like it's some of the in-between colors, like in between greens, in between beiges. Those are a little bit more shy. But given that these are for hobbyists or people like me who don't sketch too much with these traditional materials, you can't really beat the price for a set of 126 of them. So, up to you. I'm for the most part happy with the set. I love their packaging, it's super compact, and I like knowing that I have 126 colors to work with, so I'm pretty much set with colored pencil. You will not hear a single complaint out of me again on whether I need more colors. Like, that's it for me. If there are sets out there of like 1,000 colored pencils, are there? I'm afraid to even look that up. I wouldn't. How would anyone, like, why would you need that many colored pencils at that point? I mean, I can only think of being an artist who does the most hyper realistic art. Yeah, for the most part, I'm enjoying Arrtx products. Thank you to them for sending me another product of theirs, and we will continue the sketchbook journey. So thank you for watching this vlog. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye!